Hello, and welcome back to Laura's Plans. So, in this weekly video or recording, we're going to go ahead and set up my week 38, I believe it is, of September. So the second week of September. There were some really long videos for the setup of September in general, and I have to say thank you all to those who took the time to watch it and give me feedback and comments. I absolutely adore it when you guys do. It made me laugh because one of the comments mentioned how, you know, you're sitting there with your coffee or your planner and you're doing things and I'll ask a question and you answer in your head. I totally do that too. So I just enjoy sometimes giving you a unedited version of myself. And so thank you very much to all of you who mentioned that you enjoyed it. And truthfully, I think it's nice to see the real process. My planner is not perfect, nor will it ever be, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the mess ups and the mistakes and all the little funny things that I do in it, because I think that's what makes it wholly mine. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things I want to talk about before we start building is overall the setup of September is working really well. I have my calendar. I have my one line a day, and it is Thursday the 2nd. I'm recording this because I have a very busy weekend and I wanted to make sure that it is recorded for you guys. My habits and goal tracking is doing very well. And I took my task brain spill and I really went ahead and mapped out all of the things I do for my environment to keep my house running the way that I want it to. And I mapped out all of those individual cleaning tasks that I like to do on a monthly basis. And I went ahead and put in the weeks. Now, some of these will get done every single week. Some of them are only like twice a month. But I have this to refer to, and I also have some accountability here. So I transitioned this into what I consider my environmental task list. I put it right next to my menu because for me, cooking and cleaning kind of go hand in hand, and that works out. But because I had done that, when I went into the week, I noticed that, there's some things that I need to future plan or future schedule. And so I'm making some changes as I go along here. The other thing you may notice is I did go ahead and include a time bar. When I initially set up September 1st, I didn't have the time bar in there, but as I got closer to Wednesday, I knew that I needed it. So I went ahead and put the time bar in. I also delineated this area for my daily to-dos and some of the different tracking that I like to do at the bottom, like my personal hydration. I use the word hydrated because it has the right amount of letters for the amount of water that I drink with each tick mark. I'll record my steps. I need to grab that off my Apple Watch, but I also like to record how much I slept. And I was thinking about creating one of those time bar sleep trackers, but I really just want to be able to kind of flip through and see, oh, yep, okay, I'm only averaging like 6 hours and 45 minutes or whatever as I go through. And if I start to see that I need a little more, a little bigger picture on that, I'll go ahead and put in a sleep tracker. I also put in my daily intentions because that is part of my daily process that I missed a lot, and I want to have those back in. Then I have to say, I was playing with my Crayola of the World markers. Those of you on Instagram have probably already seen this, but I did pick them up, and I have to say I absolutely adore them. And I had a lot of fun doing this. Actually, it was in a meeting and I feel bad, but I pulled out a sheet of paper from something I want to share with you, and I have to find it. It is the most amazing little, just cheap little sketchbook that I found at Walmart, and it's not very expensive. But what I love about it is the pages of this sketchbook are all bound, but they're not bound. So it's like a disc planner where you can pull out the page and work on it and then put it back in if you want to, or let's say that it's something that you want to add into your notebook or planner or memory keeper, whatever it may be. It also has a perforated edge on it so that you can go ahead and take it out cleanly and then cut it down to size and do whatever. And it just made me really stinking happy. And so, yeah, I think I paid all of like $5 for this. It's at Walmart. The brand is Grumbacher, and it's, you know, it's 160 GSM mixed media. It's not high quality watercolor paper or anything like that. But what I'm putting into my notebook, I'm not worried about, you know, if I'm using artist grade anything. I am a doodler. I play with watercolors and mixed media and things like that. I am not a professional artist. And so I truly don't believe I need professional artist quality grade to do what I do. I was inspired by an image off of Instagram, and I need to find it so that I can give her credit. But she does these adorable little cats. And so yesterday evening, I went in and recreated her image. You know, imitation is the best form of flattery. I just thought this was stinking cute. So I saw that picture and I went ahead and did my own version. It's just fun. It's nice to get back into it. I'm finding that as I've given up the structured planners and all of the structured things, I am finding that I am really opening myself back up to my creativity, to my artistic self, and giving myself my creative breaks every day. And they could be little things like this, or, you know, as my husband and I were watching What If, I sketched out this and then came in and in a half an hour had the base layer of watercolor down, and then went back in this morning while I was having my morning coffee and utilized some colored pencils and pens and things to give it some more dimension. So, you know, these are things that don't take hours and hours and hours to do, and they're not perfect, and that's okay. And that's why I kind of like this little book, because I can kind of keep them all together or take them out and use them in my planner as I see fit. So this layout going straight from, let me get back to what I was saying before I pulled that out. I set up my monthly, I set up a few different trackers and things in this notebook, but I realized that I wasn't really as organized coming into this because I had thought I was going to be using my iPad for a lot of things. And yeah, my iPad's dead. I am going to be replacing it, but I'm going to wait until December, and then my husband and I are going to replace it together. Like, I'm going to do part of it, and the other part is my Christmas present, because we're going to get me a better version of the iPad that I had than I had. And so anyway, you don't need to know all those details. I digress. So one of the things I realized is, moving into this week, there were some things that I had forgotten to include because I had intended to utilize a digital system for them. Well, so as the week went on, not having a weekly spread in this planner just kind of had me a little off kilter. I know I can put everything in here, and I started to do that, and that's fine. And I have this little sidebar that I could put tasks and to-dos on, and I know that, but I also know myself, knowing that I like to flip to the week ahead and kind of map it out, much like I did here, but I'm going to do it in a much simpler fashion. So this is my work week planner, and I love how this weekly worked out, especially as I moved into the dailies and was able to migrate things over just for that specific day. That worked really well for me. So I'm going to kind of bring that back in, setting up this next week. I'm finding that 2 pages is more than enough. Now, you guys might be thinking, Laura, you're missing some pages. I like to keep a whole month with a whole month. So my September setup actually started yesterday. I didn't touch this till yesterday. And so here we are today, and you can see where we're at. And I'm enjoying it. And then I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all set up. I am finding that I don't really need more than 2 pages. Because if I have a lot of things to journal about, it probably means that I need to not be doing that in this journal, that I need to be doing it in my emotional and memory kind of more formal just journal. So that's what I have realized, and that's what we're going to do for now. Anyway, so I went ahead and set up the rest of the week, and I have all the things in here that I need to know about. My son has his first football game for their season on Saturday. We're so excited, and he will be playing. And then we moved into one of the things I forgot about. It's kind of a big thing, and we're going to set it up today together. It's my financial spread. I need to be able to reference this throughout the month because I really am trying to work on some financial goals, and having this in here really is important for me. So I kind of earmarked the page. I'm sorry I did not do this on camera, but I just took a piece of vellum, folded it over, and glued it to the page to earmark where it was at. Since it's not in the front where it normally would be, that will stand out for me. And I gave it a little piece of sticker paper to earmark it here. And then we're going to jump into the setup for next week. So with all of that said, I'm sure there's going to be other spreads that as I come to each week, I think about maybe I missed or forgot in that whole setup that we did. And if that's the case, I will add them in as we go. I know that I have about 10 or 12 pages to play with if I go on a day on 2 pages. And with weeklies, I have about 10 or 12 pages to play with before I get into my collections and lists and all that fun stuff that I keep here in the back of my planner. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So there it is. That is basically what we do and what I like to do. I'm gonna go in and add some color onto this just because it was looking a little pale. What I will do off camera is go in and add in a little blue dot for each day that we have a payment coming out, and then earmark that so that I can mark it off as those payments clear. So that is basically is how I like to track it, because we're not both paid once a month, or we're not, especially for me, like I'm not paid on a once a month or set day schedule. Some of the way that I need to do some of the more transactional things like grocery shopping and things like that, I need to think about which big payments are coming out of my account at what time. And so when I will have more money to do certain things throughout the month. You know, I would love to say that we had the type of financial lifestyle that allowed us to just, you know, have 2-3 months worth of money sitting in our checking accounts. We don't. We are, you know, like many, where each paycheck we have to sit down and make our budgets and know what we can do and can't do, and transfer money to certain projects or certain things that we need to do. Things like tuition and, you know, the house projects and things like that. So that's how I set up my financial page. As I said, I will come in with the fine point, and I can show you, like, I know that I have 2 payments that are coming out on the 3rd. I had 1 payment that is always coming out on the 1st. I know that I always have a specific payment that comes out on the 24th, and then I'll go in and grab my subscriptions. But just to kind of give you an idea of where things are at, I will also mark in green the different paydays. And I can come here and see that my 2 paydays land here. My husband's lands here, but because that's a Sunday, he will get paid on the Friday before. So I can mark with a little green dot here, here, and here. So that keeps me on track financially and just gives me a peace of mind, really, because most of our bills are scheduled. But now that I have that kind of monthly spread that I failed to put in at the beginning of the month done, I can hop into what I want to do in my Stalogy for the upcoming week. And you guys know me, I am always one who really, really, really likes to delineate one week from the other. So I'm going to go ahead and use a piece of vellum. And if you've watched this channel at all, you know, yes, I am a matchy-matchy kind of person. Like, I like picking colorways and color schemes and different elements that all kind of work in a family together. I know that not everybody is like that, and that is fine. I mean, I look at other people's planners on YouTube, and I absolutely adore the different decorative elements that they add in. I just know for myself, I tend to pick kind of a family, a color scheme, or complementary colors that kind of work together, and then I will build from there. So with that said, this is a vellum that comes with that same kind of autumnal, I would say it's an autumnal brown, because it does have like a beautiful, almost like purple base to it. It's not quite brown. It's not quite, it's just a little different, and I absolutely adore it, to be honest. I was so excited when I realized I had a marker that matched it, because I plan to use that on my weekly spread to give a little bit more interest into the color scheme that I planned out for this week, or for this month. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and place this here, and this is our delineating vellum. So one of the things that I throw in every once in a while is I will throw in quote pages or utilize some of my own prose that I've written over the years. And I like to put them in as decorative elements on those kind of transition pages. Like here, I wanted to remind myself that each day is a chance to thrive. I can do far more than just survive. And that's, yes, very thrive and survive, very cheesy rhyming scheme there. But in September, I remember I have a book of poetry and prose that I put together every one for every year. And I looked up last year's, and I had written this phrase last year and decided it was perfect for this year. And I actually found another one that I wrote that I want to use for October when the time comes. So I am going to go ahead and pen this in. So I will be back with you in just a moment. All right, so technical difficulties have struck. It would seem that my phone decided to stop recording right about here when I was showing you that page, and it did not record any of the setup. So let me just go over that. These daily boxes are 12 boxes across. And each day I count down 6 boxes to think about the day, and then I skip one down. So they're 12 by 7 because I do use a line and put the header above the line. So I want to make sure that there's enough space for that. And when you do that, what it does allow for is Sunday to truly have 6 boxes of its own to write content in. And so I don't know why, but it bothers me when Sunday is always shorted a couple of boxes and everybody else gets all their boxes. I think it's unfair. I know. I know. I know what I just said. Trust me. I know I'm weird. So that is my monthly setup. I went in and put in my meetings and my appointments, which it's really nice that it's such a calm week so far. I do need to put in a reminder that I didn't put it all in. See how I am? And then here we have, I didn't put it all in. This is my husband's fantasy football draft night. So that means I have a night all to myself, which means I'll probably be recording for you guys. And then on Friday, we have a date with friends, like a dinner date with Greg and Shannon. And we're going to this new Italian bistro here that is run where all of the pasta is handmade. They're from northern Italy. And anyone, if you visited Italy, you know, like, the food there is so different than what we consider Italian here. And I am so excited because they make all their own pastas. They make all their own breads. They serve the food the traditional way, which is important to me. So we have a date with them. We're going to be going out with them. We have that. We have game day. Sunday is free, and I think we're gonna probably go up and drop some goodies off to my daughter. She's running out of fresh coffee beans. She left some clothing here she needs, things like that. So I think on Monday we're gonna go make a run to my daughter's college, maybe go out to lunch and do that. So this is my setup for the week. I know there's not a lot on there. One of the things I want to put in right away, though, is I need to make hotel reservations next week. And I don't know what day I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. For our trip out to my son's school for the homecoming game, I need to get that done. Also, and I am back. It would seem my husband bought me some Bath and Body Works, which you would think he'd be. I didn't open the package, but it's funny because he bought it for me. And, you know, I'm the one that answers the door when the UPS man comes. So I'm excited to find it. And I'll let you all know what he bought me. So the weekly is set up and done. Do I want to schmutz it up? Of course I do, because it is me. But I don't want to take a ton of, I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't, because this is pretty clean and I need the space to write things down. So I'm not going to schmutz it up. So then let's go ahead and we are going to build my daily page. And let's grab all the tools of the trade. And yes, I flip it around because I find it easier to draw this big long line when it is facing me. Like, I don't know, like pulling it down versus, I don't know. It's this, like this is too small and I get off track and, you know, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to put my dot up there. And I am going to put in my time bar while my dot goes ahead and dries. So we're gonna say 6, 7. So that is what my day looks like. I'm gonna give that a little bit of time to dry. And truthfully, I'm wondering, do I wanna go ahead? I don't have to build them all out like I did this week so that I could put future planning things, like things that pop up. Like I had something pop up on Monday of this week that I needed to plan for later on in the week, and I needed to put it someplace. So I don't have to do that, so I can take as many pages as I need to. So I don't think I'm going to. With that said, I do want to add in, I like to take this light, oh, I didn't wait long enough, snap. Oh well, we're gonna make them all dark now. Anyway, I didn't take enough time to let my Kakuno dry before I put in my highlight. All right, so we were able to go ahead and add in my September financial setup that I had failed to add into my monthly. We were able to build a quote or phrase page. I don't know, I call these my transition pages. Before we moved into my weekly setup for the week of September 6th through the 12th. Thanks to this quick little splash page, I will be able to then set up my daily pages as I need them and utilize any additional pages for writing or memory keeping that I want in between each of these dailies. So that is it. That is the second week of September all set up in my A5 Stylogy. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the lovely comments. As always, if you have a question about what I'm using or why I'm doing certain things, please feel free to question in the comments below. I hope you all have a wonderful week. just to let you know, if you are interested in seeing the setup of next week in my B6thology, that will be its own separate video. You can watch it if you would like, or if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine too. From my heart to yours and from my home to yours, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.